All right, folks. So here is my first floor of my building. We're going to talk stairs today, a few different ways to make stairs, ways you can make the stairs a feature of your building if you want it to be a feature, or just kind of a utility thing, depending on how you want your stairs to look. So I'm going to show you a few different things you can do with stairs and ways to design your stairs. So let me get rid of this real quick. So we're going to start off by making stairs as a feature, something you would walk into and get excited by, or something that would look really cool and be open and interesting and all of that. So I'm going to put some stairs right here in the main section of my building, and I'm going to have them be interesting. So all of your stairs tools are up here under circulation. And tools, no, okay. So when you click on the stair button, it switches you over to the stair tab. Automatically, it selects the button for run. Run means that you are going to be drawing a line that represents the run of the stairs. That's the length of the stairs, or the way that the stairs go along from front to back, from beginning to end. That's the line of the stairs. If you look at the different sections here, we can be drawing components: straight stairs, full step spiral, center end spiral, winders. You can play with these. These are all brand new in 2018. And then they used to have a draw panel here, where it looked just like the previous draw panels, where you had different types of lines that you could draw. They've changed it where you're not drawing different types of lines now. You're drawing different types of stairs. So let's play with each of these and see what we get. I'm going to start by drawing a regular old straight run stair. And I'm going to draw it from here this way. And you can see what I get. Let me zoom in on it a little bit so you can see a little better what I'm getting here. As I'm drawing, I get a ghost stair. And it says number of risers created and number of risers remaining. Can you guys see that in the bottom corner down there? And to get the full number of risers remaining, I have to go all the way to the end here. Well, where is it getting that information? Let's take a look. As I'm creating my stairs, over here in my properties panel, I have a few things I can work on. I can drop down this and I can choose different types of stairs. And typically, assembled stairs, what I'm going to pick. 7-inch max riser, 11-inch tread. I don't typically mess with that because there are certain ratios of how stairs are designed that humans expect. If you mess with stairs, people trip. If you change the ratio of riser to run and how treads are designed on stairs, people fall up and down stairs. We have a certain expectation for how stairs are designed, and if we mess with it, it doesn't work well. So we don't like to mess with the stairs. Down here under the other section, we can change the desired number of risers. That'll affect our heights and whatnot. Because once it knows the number of risers, the size of them and whatnot, it computes the number of risers it has to get to the next level based on your base level and top level. That's how it knows, when I click here, the total number of risers it needs. If each riser is going to be 7 inches, and it knows the distance between your floors that you've chosen, it knows how many risers it needs to create at 7 inches each to get from one floor to the next. Does that make sense? Okay. So if you don't, your stairs are hanging off in the middle of nowhere. You don't have to. Watch. I can just go. Oh, hold on. What's it not? Click, click, click. What's it look like? Let's find out. 3D view. And then we're going to go ahead and come down here. Finish it. It'll yell at me. Stop. Top stair does not reach the top of the floor. Section box. Let's put it on. Get it made. Right, Seamus? There's my stair. I mean, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything, right? It's not really useful, but I can make it if I want to. But it's gonna give you the information you need to create the stair you want to make. So let's make a full set of stairs. From here, out all the way. Boom. It's a basic set of stairs. Riser 1, riser 34, going all the way. Okay. If I click on it, I get a lot of different tools I can work with within here. Zoom in a little bit. I can change my width. I can go like this and pull it out, make it a nice wide stair. The width of your stairs, the minimum width of your stairs, is actually dictated by code. You guys worked on that, right? You saw, you did the code, the minimum width of egress in different floors. You have a minimum width that your stair needs to be based on your code. You can actually type that in right here and change that. So say your minimum width is 4.5 feet, I can go 4 space 6, and there's my floor. I can make it wider if I want it to be. Okay. I can change my arrow here. There should be. See, they've changed things on me now. Try to find where they've put my tools. They change it every year, and every year they confuse me just a little bit more. There used to be a button to flip the stairs, so you can go up the top and the bottom of the stairs, but I don't see that button anymore. So if I find it, I'll let you know where it's at. You have the button? Oh, I'm on 2019, right. I had to update it to 2019. You had the button to flip the stairs, right? Good, use the button to flip the stairs. I don't have that button anymore. They must have gotten rid of it. Weird.
So like
you can. If you change the number of risers, you're changing the height of the risers. Does that make sense? Because then if you do less risers, you're making the risers higher because you still have to get from point A to point B. Ultimately, that's what you're doing, right? Anybody have a house with a really steep stairway? Going like this. I'm walking down and it's like, well, you're gonna fall. You ever do that? Like I said, there's a certain ratio between the height of the riser and the depth of the tread. One changes, the other one has to change in relationship to it. If you screw with that too much, people fall down stairs. There's a certain expectation. We don't look at the stairs when we walk, do we? We just have a certain expectation. So when you change things, you have to change it appropriately or things get messed up. Typically, we prefer you not to mess with it because that's how you hurt things. Why do you want to change the number of risers? So, are you trying to make really steep stairs? Understand that when you... So, there's a lot of things we can do. I'm going to talk about what you can do with that. Understand that when you make less risers, you're making each one taller. People are going to end up having to stomp up the stairs, climbing a ladder. You don't necessarily want that. But let's look at other things we can do. With the type of stairs I've got now, and you guys actually do have the draw panel, don't you? You don't have this components panel like I have. Oh, it does give you those things. Full step spiral. Okay, good. I wasn't sure because I wasn't sure what you guys had for your So now here, before you do anything more, wait and watch. So now I'm going to draw some of my risers. So say I don't want to go all the way here because it's going to go right to my door, like you said, right? Let's say I only want it to go this far. Let's say I do half. I've got 16, 17, and 17. Boom. Okay? And then I want to make a riser and have the other half go back the other direction. Loop around 180 degrees. Or I want it to be L. I want it to go this way and then that way. And above the bathrooms here. Okay? You see, let me zoom in a little closer here. You see as I do this, I'm getting some guides. Little dotted lines and an X and all that stuff coming up. If I click again, I'm going to get more stairs coming this way. And it's a little bit of a click and guess game as you go, hoping you get the right thing. Because what I wanted is the two corners to match. And you see how they don't match at the moment? So that's not good. I'm going to click and come down here. Not doing it the way I want them to do it, guys. All right, so coming out from here, roughly to there, let's try that. Let's see what we make. Let's go all the way to the end. So it knows where I left off, and it knows how many are left to make this stair. See, it says I still need 17 more risers. There's my 17 risers left. I click, and you see it automatically will make the landing between them if I lined it up correctly. There's my landing between. Let's see what that looks like in 3D. See? So the landing will get created automatically if I line things up properly. And there's a little bit of fudge room in there. There's a little bit of room for you to kind of mess it up and not have it lined up perfectly, or make the landing a little bit bigger or whatnot. So you can mess with that a little bit. All right, let's go back in here and delete that guy. Delete the automatic landing. What if I wanted to go all the way around? I can come here, and again, it's a little bit of guesswork. And I go back the other direction. And there, it makes automatic landing again. Let's see that in 3D. See? So, Seamus, that'll help you to take up a little bit less space, right? By packing your stairs in a smaller space. That's how most places will do this kind of thing. Most buildings are not going to have one straight run of stairs just going whoosh, all the way from bottom to top. If you got the space, you can. Most places aren't going to do that. Okay. What about other options for stairs? Let's take a look at this. Delete. Let's try this one here. I've actually never done this because this tool was never available before. So you see what it's doing here? It's had me create a diameter for it. And the smaller the diameter, the more tight the spiral is. Do you see? Let's do a nice tight spiral here. And then once I click, it makes the spiral. Let's see what that looks like in 3D. There's my spiral staircase. This was never possible before in Revit, for the record. You could not have made this structure in Revit before this build. First time you could ever make something like this. The most you could ever make was a half circle stairs. Now you can make a full circle spiral. Never was this possible before. There you go. If you want to make a spiral staircase, there you go. It would be very hard to get down, yes. I'm probably going to require you, if your diameter is less than a certain amount for a spiral staircase, you have to have a second set of stairs to get down for egress purposes. Yes. Like a full circle, or like that? That wouldn't be bad. As long as you're not doing more than one full lap around, you can pretty much get down it, no problem. It's when you have to start going around and around and around and around and around that it takes more effort to do that, and it slows you down getting down the stairs. As long as you're doing one full wraparound or less getting down a flight, it pretty much doesn't slow you down. That makes sense. All right, let's try the other ones here. We've got this one. Pretty much the same thing. As far as I can. Oh, this one lets you decide how many risers to put and where. The other one was automatically creating all of the risers in the space that you created. You see that, how I did that? This one's letting you decide how many risers to put and where. So let's put like the risers to there, right? And then click here. See how it tries to make a landing? You see how it's like making a landing there? Or thinking about it anyway? Let's do, I don't know, that. Two remaining. I can get the two remaining. Let's get down to two remaining and see what it looks like. I'm really curious what it managed to throw together for this. Oh boy. I don't believe so either, but I'm impressed that it managed to stick them together. I'm curious what you'll be able to make if you mess with it. All right. So there's that. L shape. Click, plop. There you go. Good question. I clicked. it popped. I don't know. I think I'll bet one of the reasons that they removed some of my options is because I bet I can click on this. I can come here to modify, and I can just go yoink and just rotate it. You see? I'm thinking that what you use your modify tools, your mirror, your flip flop, that kind of stuff, your rotate, to adjust some of those things. You see? So this is the way to do an L shape without a landing. You see how it does not have a landing? Whereas the other way that I did it originally gave you a landing. I'm pretty sure the other one I'm going to do here as well, on here. This one, you see how I'm bringing it in? It's not even giving me a chance to draw, it just does the full thing. This one's also going to be not a landing, which to me looks really awkward to walk up, but that's a way to do one without a landing, okay? I would definitely fall, but that's whatever you want for that. Now, once you make your stairs, and I'm here in 3D, you can click on it wherever you want to. Once you make your stairs, there's lots of things that you may modify about them. If I click on it here, let's look. Location line, run center. That location line can be whatever. So exterior support left, exterior support right. You want to change what you're drawing when you draw it. Begin with riser, end with riser. Changes what you begin and end with. Like you see how it's got this little, I don't know if you guys can see it here or not. You see how it has a little riser right there? So if you begin with a riser, end with a riser means that the last thing's gonna be a riser to the floor. You understand that? Whereas if you didn't do that, the last thing would be a step to the floor. Typically you begin and end with a riser. That's typically how stairs would work. My material. So now I can go to edit type, and in here I get to change my materials. This is where you get to really make the thing what you want it to be. So tread material by category. Let's go ahead and put in here carpet 1, sure. And then riser material, let's go ahead and do walnuts, wood, and then I can select my sides here. Let me change those. Treads, risers. Definitely a way to change those. Let's take a look. So you can see how it looks a little nicer now that I've actually got materials on there. You can kind of give it the look you want it to have. And you add materials to it. Thinking I select that. Really get in. Oh yeah, stringer. Now I can give the stringers the materials I want to. Let's say I want that to be like black iron. Is that possible? Yeah, cast iron. It'll look a little better if I do it rendered. So you can make your stairs look nice if you add some of those different materials to them. Okay. So that's just the simple drawing of the stairs. How do you get it to come through the second floor? So if I go to the second floor, check it out. It's not there, right? I gotta cut a hole in my floor to get it to come through. So, easiest way to do that, I'm now on my second floor plan. Oh, let's go ahead and finish the stairs so they show up somewhere. Okay, on my second floor plan now, if I go over to my properties for my floor plan, the second section says underlay. Okay, and I want you to see here, underlay is really finicky, but let me make this be shaded, do wireframe, line, hidden line, and then underlay lets you see another layer with another layer. It's like you have two, like a clear sheet of paper on top of a sheet of paper, so you can see two things together. So base range for the underlay, ground floor, top range, second floor, and then underlay orientation you can change if you can't see what you're trying to see. Still not really showing me. I'll flip flop these. Found it. It's showing me second floor down. So I'm not getting my underlay to work, and underlay is often very finicky in that way. I often struggle with getting underlay to show me what I want it to show me. The other way to see the other things in your project, if you can't see them with underlay, is to come down here to your visual styles and go to wireframe. And wireframe kind of just shows everything through that. Like it's kind of everything's kind of just shows the outlines of things, and the solids are invisible, if that makes sense. Now I can see my stairs there, right? I can even select them. So I'll switch back to shaded. So I can select my floor. And selecting floors is one of the hardest things to do in Revit. You get to the edge of it, like right where it's connecting to the wall. And you have to tab until the little tooltip says it's a floor. There's a floor. And then you click. And now I got my floor selected. I want to edit the boundary. So I'm going to select Edit Boundary. And so you can see the purple boundary lines are showing up. And I can kind of see the stairs poking through a little bit. You see them there? Poking through? But I'm going to... What's that? Underlay? You have to be editing the properties of the view. So you click off in white space. And you edit the properties of the view on the left-hand side. Underlay is one of the options in there. Look at me. On the screen. Click in the white space. Edit the properties of the view. Scroll down here. Underlay is right there. Change these options till it works. Sometimes it won't. Now, I've already moved past that, so pay attention. I'm selecting my floor. I'm selecting Edit Boundary. You can already see the stairs kind of poking through right here, right? All right. I'm going to change to wireframe so I can see them. I'm going to zoom in on that location. I know up is right here. I'm going to make a box starting where they end and going back. How far back is a little bit subjective. There are equations you can use to help you with this, but it's easier to just kind of figure it out. I'll show you how to do it by physical kind of playing with things. I'm going to go back about halfway. It's more than you think it needs to be. I'm going to cut a hole and hit OK. Always say no when this pops up, and no. And now I'm going to turn off my wireframe, do shaded, and see if I've got a good hole. Now I've got multiple floors going on. I have this concrete floor underneath it too. I have to turn off my element, and I have to get this other floor. I don't think you guys have multiple floors, do you? That's why you're seeing me do something that you don't have. You know what? Instead, let's just delete it. Now, do you guys have ceilings? You will. If you don't, you will have to have a ceiling. So now I have to come in here and get my ceiling selected. Ceilings. All right, we're going to go to our ceiling view and see if that'll help me. Ground floor. This is one of those things. Now, Revit keeps on adding new features. One of the features they could add that would make my life a lot easier, but make it easier to select ceilings and floors. You know what I'm saying? Come on, guys. All right. When in doubt, if you're struggling to select something like this, which you will, just like I am, go to your 3D view. Okay. In your 3D view, use your section box. In this case, I'm going to come up from the bottom so I can see the ceiling here. And it's a lot easier sometimes to select this kind of stuff when you're like this. You can still edit the boundary when you're in your 3D view. When you're editing things like this in a 3D view, always make sure you go flat on with the view cube to do it. Okay. I'm going to come in from the top so I can actually see the hole I put in the floor already. Oh, hey, look, there's a thing there. I'll have to deal with that, won't I? Okay. And I'm just going to trace over that hole I already put in the floor. Hit OK. And now if I go to my second floor, I can see that there's a hole through. Now, what problem do we see now? Oh, let's unhide. Unhide my floor. Reveal hidden elements. Select the floor. Right-click. Unhide that element. All right. What problem do we see now? We've got a hole in the floor, right where I want my stairs. I can walk up the stairs. Everything is great, but what's the problem? Oh, we'll get there. Not that yet. I see another problem. Aiden? Support beam for the second floor, right where my head's going to go. Bonk. Typically, you would not be able to do this. This is the one situation where you may do what I'm about to do. Delete. There's a lot more involved in this, and we will get to structural beams and supports and how that all works in a little bit. At this stage, the hole in the floor for your stairs. Click the delete button and get rid of that support beam. The other processes to how you add extra supports to deal with that. Not going in there for this. Cut the hole, delete the support beam, boom. I got a hole for that now. Now, let's get... It's right there.
Oh.
You see a support beam right there. That support beam.
I thought you meant
literally right through my floor, right where my stairs are, right where the hole is. You see it now. Delete. Now it's gone. All right, let's go back to my 3D view. Let's clean up my 3D view a little bit because there's some things I hid just to do this that are still visible in the 3D view. Now I finished this library. I had different sets of stairs. I'm going to get into how I did those in a little bit. But I'm just going to clean it up so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so there I've got the hole in the floor. I got the hole in the ceiling. It all looks good. Let's get down this way and cut in from the side. You can see what's happening in from the side here. And bring the bottom. Where's the bottom of this at? Bring the bottom back down. So you can see what's going on with this building. All right, so there's my stairs. How am I going to determine if that hole is correct? Well, I'm going to put a person on it. Architect, component, load family, and I'm going to go to entourage. Entourage has people, female, male. Pick one. Open. Pick a name you like. Dwayne? You like Dwayne? Okay. Now, I gotta put him... Hold on here. Get on my ground floor. Plan, be easier. Architecture component, Dwayne. Alright, so up is this way. I want to put him like here. Like he's almost coming through. Alright? I guarantee you he's on the floor. Let's get back here. Is he on the floor? Yep, he's not where I want to be. I like how Dwayne is like this white business guy, you know? Alright. No, right? So now I'm going to give him an offset. Or I can come in from the right here. Zoom out. And I can arrow him up. Just like I can arrow anything else up. I can get him on my stairs. It's a little bit fiddly, but it gives you a really good idea of how this stuff works. So I'm going to use my up arrow, my back arrow, up, back, and get him on my stairs where I want him. Okay, he's on the stairs. He's coming through. Okay, that hole looks pretty good for now, right? Let's get him back. right about to where that hole begins. You see where the hole begins? Can you kind of see it up there? And bring him down onto the stairs where he would be. And is his head going to hit my hole? Oh, his whole body's going to hit my hole. So it felt like I made a pretty big hole, didn't it? I made it. You guys are thinking to yourselves, wow, that's a big hole. The hole wasn't even half long enough. Mostly, if you make a two-flight stair like this, the whole second flight of stairs is going to have to be open with that hole. Does that make sense? This is a good way to kind of get a visual for, is my hole big enough? Stick a person on there, see what they do. Use Dwayne, he's a cool guy. You understand how that works? Okay. So, let's take a look at my ground floor. And let's take a look right here. This is my stairs that I put in place for my building. I wanted to have a more traditional enclosed staircase. You walk in at some place, there's double glass doors next to it, has a little placard that says stairs. Open the doors up, go up an enclosed staircase like you would have in a typical building. So what I did was I put the stairs in, a 2-flight stairs like I just showed you with a landing on it. Put the hole in the ceiling, and then I put walls around it. I put your partition walls that we've been using, put those walls around it, and put double doors in like you see. Let me bring those stairs back. Hello, stairs. Did I really? Well, boogers. Alright, well, these stairs are now these stairs. Don't they? A little small. Yep. I definitely made mine nice and big and open and wide. But whatever. See if I can edit these to make them bigger. Here we go. Wider. Back to the wall. This way. Move the whole thing. That. Narrow you out a little bit. Okay, that's better. And then what I would probably do for these stairs is I would probably make the whole space open above these stairs in this case. Let's take a look at these guys in 3. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have saved the project. I used to click on a button that says save the project when I see it. I should not have saved this project. Oh, there's poor Dwayne standing up there by himself. Bye, Dwayne. I'm gonna have to do a lot of undo button stuff here. Let's get around the back side and out and cut this wall in. And so you can see I put a nice big glass window here, you guys, so you can see outside when you're going up the stairs, right? There's a double glass door. Let's bring this down from the top so you guys can see. Cut in.
And Mr. Reinhardt's parents should report to the first.
As I said, I had a landing on mine. These don't have a landing, so they can use more of the risers, so it's a little bit smaller. So I can actually bring this whole wall in if I wanted to. Okay, it's going to yell at me. It's all upset. Stop. Chill out. Okay, I promise. I could bring that whole wall in. I could do it here if I wanted to, because it's a different type of stairs than what I made when I did mine. I had a landing and all of that. But as you can see, I can wrap my stairs in a wall, put doors in it. I would probably have the whole upper part of this open then to the second floor. So as you're walking, you look up, you see the second floor. And then have railings around that. Or instead of railings, you have these walls go all the way through to the second floor roof. When you come out of the stairs, there's doors there too. And then there's no railings necessary. So, Owen, you mentioned railings. Let's do a bunch of undoing here. And get back to Dwayne. Where's Dwayne? Okay, let's go back to our second floor real quick. Railings, architecture, railings. You want to sketch path. Sketch the path. It has to be one line. So it's going to go blank, blank, there, there. If you want two separate parts to your railing, you need to draw two separate railings. You can't do two different lines when you're drawing this. This has to be one continuous line when you draw it. Is it okay? Check it out in 3D. And there's the railing so you don't fall down the stairs. Do you see it? Again, I can select the railing. Come on. Select the railing. Change the railing, and there's different types of railings. Sure you can. You can come in here, edit type, duplicate it, and railing structure. There's ways to change the material by category over here and everything. Yeah, always a way to change materials and mess with that kind of stuff. But that was super quick. Any questions before we wrap this up for today? A lot of information. I want you to play with it, do what you want to do with it, and then ask questions as you go. Relevant to this or not? What's up? Let me stop. Hold on.